Hello, and good evening. Welcome. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Crifu. I will be your storyteller for tonight's Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Albany By Night. This is episode 5, and it is the finale for our first season. I'm super excited and very proud of all of our vampires that have come through and that have come back. And I'm especially proud of our producers who are off camera. Without them, this wouldn't be a fucking thing.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
So, without further ado,
So weird.
let's meet our vampires.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I play Riah, the current Prince of Albany, who, after the untimely death of her predecessor, took the throne.
What's up? My name is Finley. I'm playing Donna. I am a Malkavian who, by night, is a up-and-coming conspiracy theory blogger and internet streamer. And by night, the other night, is trying to make her way in the somewhat new Albany court scene.
Hi, I'm Jonah. I'm playing Herschel, or Herschela, the Tremere who has been sent to Albany initially to uncover what happened to the Chantry. He has reported back to New York and is returning to Albany sooner than even he expected.
I'm Barrett. I play Mimi. Mimi's a Nosferatu who was also sent to Albany when Riah ascended to power to help sort of sneak around and to report to what was in the one remaining Nosferatu in Albany, Jaskins, who sadly was drained by anarchs last week, and leaving Mimi the lone Nosferatu in Albany.
Yes. A lot has happened in the Capital District over the last few months. And tonight, court is being held for the first time in quite a while. So, I'd like to welcome you all to Albany by Night, episode 5, Fiona. Spring is breaking. The hills that line the Hudson River sparkle in the late afternoon light. The equinox has passed, and vampire season is over. We spot a train heading north on the right side of the river. As we zoom in closer, we see into one of the first cars of the train. Inside are several dreary-faced young people. 3 men and 2 women. In the back half of the car lay 3 black coffins. Impressed upon them a seal, a geometrically designed square with an arrow pointing up and to the left. The camera zooms up again as the sun sets. We see the train pull into Renslayer. The township is small and dark, looming in the shadow of the bright lights of downtown Albany. Across the Hudson, to the west, its skyline is imposing. The towers all hail from different times, a competition of egos across the ages of America. As the camera zooms up and over the city, we spy the Capitol building spotlit in its neo-Renaissance splendor. To the south, the Empire State Plaza, a tepid, reflecting pool lined by 4 Gothic agency towers. The camera scans the bright buildings and dark streets of downtown Albany once more, before zooming back down. On State Street, 2 blocks from the Capitol, is the Bank of America. As we slowly spin through the brassy revolving doors into a marble gilded hall, we see 2 bland-looking people wearing black. They are efficiently moving the waiting room furniture of the bank into the middle of the hall, creating a boardroom effect. They quickly look over their work and then leave the building. A moment later, we hear the click of heels on the clean marble floor. Prince Riah has arrived to her court. Riah, who do we see?
We see a young-looking woman.
Important distinction.
Riah was born Linda in about she was turned in the 1950s, so she's actually quite old, but she carries herself with those years of grace and experience, but she looks 23. She has long blonde hair that is constantly tied in a low pony from her years as a detective in New York City. She just constantly needs her hair out of her face. She always wears the red heels. She's wearing a bright blue shirt, very royal colors. And as she walks into the space, you see her look around and start to absorb the events that transpired the last week and try to work through how she's going to face the Ivory Tower. Don't know. She's slightly confused. Conflicted.
She goes and sits, perhaps, in the main, it's like a big gray, easy chair is not the right word, but the arms and the cloth.
An uneasy chair.
An uneasy chair. She's uneasy in the easy chair.
Very uneasy.
After what feels like a few moments, but in actuality is 20 minutes, Riah just lost in her thoughts, time not being of import to one of your undead status. The brassy revolving doors that enter into the bank itself squeak as they spin. And another set of heels enter into the marbled hall. Looking up, you see the thin, hourglassed form of Babette, the Tsunichi.
I've been waiting for you.
Something's changed here.
You still smell the blood.
Yes.
The deaths. The lives.
You can see her fangs almost growing in the hall's light as she smiles with her eyes closed. Thank you for seeing me.
Thank you for coming. I know it's at great risk.
She plays at yawning. It's quite early in the evening as well.
Yes, I know. I didn't want you to be here when everybody else arrives. Shortly.
I appreciate that. The Ivory Tower. I've stood against it my whole life. Was born into the night to stand against the Camarilla. But these nights, I do not think we have the luxury to fight one another anymore.
I agree. Unfortunately, not everyone else is in that mindset, but we work with what we have.
My own lover does not believe this is a good idea. David does not know I am here.
Best to keep it that way.
Nor have we seen Hassan in over a week. I'd like to apologize for my sect. We did not know about the attack.
Which one?
The invasion last week.
There have been a few attacks in the past few weeks.
I know you were in the city.
Not that I could have done much when I was here, but it's still... it's unfortunate that I cannot protect my own city.
Perhaps if you had more help,
Is that an offer?
we could give you resources. Money. She almost like, oh, gross. I need... It's unearthly, the sound that comes out of her. You instantly recognize it, not as Babette, the woman you've kind of gotten to know over the last month or so, but the beast inside her. A whine with a growl. You know, the times are changing. The blood sings to me, calls, screams at times. I need help. The one called Neil? I need it back. If I'm to stay in this land without going crazy.
What is so special about him?
He is of my clan's blood. I need more of it in order to fight the call.
Don't we have others of your clan in the city?
I do not know. Neil is the only one I know of. I know he's still in the district. Somewhere in this region. He hides from me. With another. One of yours.
Yes. That is why this is especially a big ask from you.
We offer much. And we have a few influential ghouls in the country club of Troy as well.
It could be helpful. Many of my ghouls are just in New York, not in this area.
You're new. We work fast.
Clearly. I'll think on it. I'll see if I can find another to replace. I know there's already a bond present, but bonds can quickly be replaced.
I do not wish to bond myself to anyone else.
Different kind of bond.
Can you roll? God.
That's what you want to hear.
Manipulation? Oh. I'm half tempted. Nah, I'm half tempted. I'm gonna roll.
Oh God. Okay.
She's got a lot of hunger. She's been able to eat. Manipulation. Etiquette? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth with being
Just a little
polite.
bit more. One more die. It's exactly what I wanted. Messy critical.
It's always what you want.
Once I
What was the last thing you said?
see if I can find another to replace. It's a special kind of bond.
So you see her hands. You're familiar with Gangrel, your sheriff. Well, there's quite a few. I mean, this is the first episode in which a Gangrel's not appearing. So yes, you're familiar with them. You've seen their hands grow into claws before. But what Babette does is something else. Her hands don't just grow into feral, bestial claws. They become bone-like blades. And they cut into the cloth of the armchair that she's sitting in. and like nothing else about her has changed, but the shearing noise fills the hall. Soon I require sustenance, or there will be a breach of which you cannot control. But it's not meant to be a threat or intimidation. It's meant to be a warning.
I'll get you what you need. And you're lucky that's a cheap chair.
She'll her hands pull out and she just drops into her side. Nothing new for her, but just daggers. Bony, her fingers are turned into bony daggers. Blades. The glint in the light.
We'll be in touch. The last thing I want is another uncontrollable breach.
I'm glad to hear it. You shall have the money wired shortly. Just know we would like to use the airport occasionally.
Lucky for you. I have my men on it.
I'm aware. And she stalks out of the room without looking back once. As she leaves, there's the wind picks up and then drops. And we leave Prince Riah sitting on her own in court. As the camera zooms up, back into the sky, the clouds gather, and the lightest bit of snow begins to fall. And as the camera comes back down, where does it take us?
It takes you to a contemporary, swanky-looking apartment in a nice part of town. High up, looking out over the city and the lights of the nighttime. And you see Donna sitting at her computer.
And what does Donna look like?
Donna is a young-ish looking white woman with dark brown hair. She's got a sort of out-of-date looking kind of feathery bob haircut, a relic of the 70s when she was turned. But other than her hairstyle, she does not look like she lives in the 70s anymore. She is wearing sort of a hodgepodge of professional clothing and loungewear and sort of what's become over the years her trademark non-style, looking like she's pieced it together from several different events that she's going to. And she's, can vampires pull all-dayers?
It's very tough.
Okay, well then in that case, she looks groggy.
I mean, Babette just forced herself to wake up much earlier than she would have.
You gotta get out of the torpor.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah. But if she could, she would like to be pulling all-dayers. No, so she looks,
Probably waits till dawn, is good.
Yeah.
Passes out at her desk.
Mm-hmm, and yeah, just is dragging herself awake, and blearily kind of pounding away at her computer, trying to get a couple of minutes of work done before she has to appear at court. And it looks like there's something on her mind, something that's propelling her fingertips clackety-clack across the keyboard. And as you, as the camera kind of looks over her shoulder, you see sort of the beginnings draft of an article titled, will we ever know what happened at the Palais Royale? Who was behind the explosions? And it seems like she's been trying to nail down some sort of angle on this, but kind of slams her laptop shut in frustration.
For sure.
Grabs her velvet blazer and storms out.
Out of her swanky apartment, down into the downtown city streets. Mm-hmm. And as the snow starts to lightly fall past her, she starts walking.
And I would say the camera then comes up, and then you can see the small-ish Holiday Inn with its permanently dark 13th floor. And
The top floor.
the top floor. And as the camera immediately cuts to the entire hallway, which is all completely dark, a door closes, and Herschel has just left the room with the corpse of Valerie.
That's right.
And he is now dressed not in his standard suit. He is dressed in a very form-fitting blazer, and he has suspenders and very skinny black jeans, and the blazer is just covered in buttons. Some of them are very modern, and some of them look like they were from a thrift store or are possibly objects of power. And he has very thick rubber gloves on that are covered in blood. And he just walks down the hallway, muttering to himself, just in Yiddish under his breath, as he gets to room 1313, his room. He snaps off the gloves and just opens the door and enters the room that he has lived in for the past few months, with the Go-Go Bordello poster and his giant library of encyclopedias, and he kind of sadly looks over all of it and begins to tidy, which is something he has never done here before. There's usually just stacks of books everywhere, and there's also layers of dust, and he actually has a feather duster that he's gotten from probably house cleaning. It's actually probably a Swiffer as he starts to clean. Like he's getting ready for company. And after a little bit of this, he also notices that it's getting late, and he goes to the mini fridge, opens it up, takes out a bag of blood, pours himself a glass in one of the little in the paper cups that are in the bathroom that are they're always restocked, but the room is never opened. He's been taking them from house cleaning due to an agreement, and he pours himself the glass and opens up Glyph on his phone, which is one of those. It's basically a Apple iPhone 2. It's one of the really old phones, and it's connecting on Wi-Fi. He's not a tech person, and he calls a lift to go to court, and he goes to the elevator after finishing his little bag of blood, and gets in with his bag. He gets in the car and just kind of he looks very distracted and very much, there's a lot on his mind, and he's very uncertain.
And as Herschel steps out of the hotel and into a car that begins heading in the direction of downtown Albany, the camera cuts back to the 13th floor in the dark hotel room that he left. And the corpse of Valerie, the thin bled, a body that did not disintegrate into ash as most vampire bodies would. A young-looking woman with black hair, jagged bob above her shoulders.
And what Herschel's actually been doing in that room wasn't some insane experiment. He's been removing all traces of gore. And the body is no longer on the bed. It's in the closet.
Okay.
It's hidden.
The camera zooms out of the closet from Valerie's still body and back up into the sky. And then down. Not below ground,
Not yet.
but into...
To a small studio apartment, really more of a room even than a studio apartment, with piles of various technology, some of it quite contemporary and clearly functional, some of it possibly not plugged into anything, all strewn about the floor. And Mimi's there, lying on her stomach, staring at a screen on the floor, scowling. Mimi's typical Nosferatu fashion, sort of a grayish tone. She's got a scar down her face, and if she ever put her hood down, you'd see she was missing an ear. Her hair looks like maybe it was once a mohawk, maybe it was once dyed, unclear, but also always under a hood. She's just monitoring, as she does, the various cell phone and technology uses of Albany, knowing that Riah likes her technology, even if the Camarilla doesn't like the use of it.
Yeah.
And the Nosferatu back in Manhattan or in Brooklyn, wherever, certainly do not approve of it either. But Mimi's pretty sure she's got it under control here.
Quick note, Mimi. Of all the Kindred in the Capital District, whose phones have you secured?
The ones I've seen. So Riah is definitely secure.
We got that on lockdown first time.
Yeah.
Irene, she has a new phone. I'm sure you've looked at.
Donna has a FBI legal secret identity or second identity. So
Good to know.
Same with Herschel. And Herschel, as per Camarilla suggestion, rarely uses the phone and switches regularly.
I bet you've done Surge as well.
I definitely have done Surge's
Two of you
phone.
are close. Nick, I'm
for
sure
sure.
you've
Yeah.
hit
Yeah,
up.
Definitely done Nick.
Margot?
I've got a trace on Margot at this point. I don't know that I've fully secured her phone. I only met her a week ago.
I'm gonna put a little,
But,
like a plus sign or the upside down cross. Can someone hand me a pen out of that drawer, please? It's just breaking. Okay.
Ekram?
Ben,
Ekram
is
is.
not using his phone right now.
Ekram's like an assassin. If he needed Mimi to secure it, he's also been around forever.
Ekram and I
not
were
doing
trading,
much.
we've certainly traded information, but I know he doesn't need me to secure his phone.
Definitely
and
Sergeant Luther.
He'd rather, we trade what we know.
And Sergeant Luther.
Fiona? Meh.
I don't
think she
has
has
it.
it.
She has the web.
You
Yeah.
did anything else.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did either.
Malkavian.
The MMA.
The MMN. The Malkavian Mental Networks.
So you're perusing. You definitely. I don't think you can see Donna or Herschel because they've got their own thing going
Yeah.
on. But you know, Irene's at home in her house in the one of the national parks. Margot is also at home. You see Nick leaving the court, Bank of America, and I assume you're just kind of like just watching.
Kind of, but I'm grumpy. I'm not like, "Ew," I'm more like,
Okay.
ugh. Because I did hear this week that despite putting in for leaving, because my job was initially to monitor or to help Jaskins, that they'd rather I stay, they being the New York City Primogen. So I'm staying.
Calabras.
Yes, against my will, and I don't see any need for me here. This is a crazy frontier town. Shit keeps going wrong. I like the order and predictability of New York, kind of. But I don't. Whatever this is not my style.
But the Kindred who engineered the taking of New York City, it's hard to disobey commands from him.
Yeah, I figure I'm stuck whether I like it or not.
That's true. So you see Nick leaving court and heading off, driving
soon. Yeah.
west, leaving Albany.
Just the rest of America.
Gryffindor.
Burfler?
His leaving is strange, but it also reminds me that it's probably time to go. I'm going to attempt to text Serge, who hasn't been in touch at all this week. I know he's at home based on any surveillance I can do, but he hasn't left his apartment or responded to any of my texts, which is very unlike him. He's usually very text happy. So,
What do you text him?
going to court? Question mark? Or just, chatting. I'm suspicious, but I'm not so suspicious that I'm going to go find him.
I feel like on your way to court, Serge would respond, not feeling well.
I text him a sad emoji.
Did he eat something bad?
And came down with something.
Sure he did.
I make a mental note
Came up
of
with
that. So to leave for court, I basically unplug my setup and then head out. There seem to be a few rats lingering by the door now, which they do of their own accord, I suppose. I'm still a little suspicious of them, though I've realized with concerted effort I can actually ask them things. I'm not used to it yet.
It's almost as if they miss having Jaskin's presence around, and your blood comforts them.
I'm not used to it. It was never my thing. That was the other Nosferatu's. This is more proof that Albany is not for me. Weird things happen here. It's not right. I'm gonna go out to the nearest manhole, remove it, crawl down, put it back, and follow the sewers to court, hopping up about a block away from the Bank of America.
All right, Riah. Question. Would the three of you arrive on time?
Oh, yeah. Because he's returning, I think that Herschel would try to be a little early.
Okay. Herschel's first.
Yeah. Because also, he has that habit.
Yep. So, Riah, for the last 20 minutes, you've just been sitting stone still. The brassy revolving doors sound once more, sort of metallic doorbell, if you will.
Out of the people that are coming, I can assume it's Herschel first.
I mean, I'm back in town, and I thought that you should know.
Thank you. I knew.
Well, I'm doing this the official way.
Officially,
Yeah,
I officially know.
Yes, I mean, I assumed you knew, but it's what they say about assumptions and all that. I'm announcing myself. I'm announced. I'm here. Hi. I'll sit in the corner now.
Thanks. Mostly to the sitting in the corner now.
Okay, you're welcome.
You have some new shiny buttons, I see.
Oh yeah, it's an outfit changed. I was instructed that I needed to dress more confidently.
It's exuding from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm trying. Also, no, it's not my place. I'll.
No, please.
No,
No,
it's-
you've already opened that door. What is it?
No, it's really not my place to say.
What?
He'll probably tell you.
Who will probably tell me? Who's Herschel?
Yeah. Eugenio?
What? Genie's coming.
Genie's coming, yeah.
Genie's coming.
Yeah. And he has some news.
Oh.
There's a footnote in it that I kind of wanted to, I wanted to tell you. I'm a magister.
What?
I'm a magister now.
You're a magister.
Yeah.
Please elaborate on what what your
it's-
new scope of work entails.
I'll be working very closely with the Tremere region of this area.
There's no Tremere regent of the...
There is now. He's gonna be real mad at me.
Okay.
I'm basically kinda his second.
Alright.
That's what the magister does.
Right. Very aware.
Technically, I'm a minor magister.
Oh. Well, thank God you're not a major man magister.
Oh no, that's a couple more ranks above me.
But I'm sure he would be the very model of a
modern.
modern major magister.
That's actually about. Wait, I'm
sorry.
That's 4 ranks above me, I think.
Pardon me for not knowing the nuances of the ranking system of the magisters.
It's of the
But I
Tremere.
can imagine.
I wouldn't assume you would know the ranking system of the Tremere. It's very complex.
Clearly.
It's mostly holdovers from the pyramid, but it's.
So Janie's coming.
Yes. More accurately.
All the way from New York.
He's here.
With us right now?
No, I don't think so. Unless he is.
Who's here? Suddenly,
Oh, Fiona.
without realizing that 2 people have entered in. A very pale, short white woman with a shock of pink hair just straight up to the sky, making her about 5'5". It's like 3-4 inches of hair.
Okay.
She runs in. Hey! Yeah! And behind her, strolling calmly, a large black man, Sarge, tall, broad-shouldered, stepping in behind her. He is the only currently living harpy left in Albany, and he is the eldest vampire in the region. Besides Babette, but she, not being of the Camarilla, doesn't count.
No.
Fiona, please, he says. Dear Prince,
Sorry.
good evening. One ever to follow etiquette.
Thank you for joining us. You are a sight for sore eyes.
I hear congratulations are in order. He turns to Herschel.
Thank you. I'm very, very proud.
Sarge is being polite,
I know.
Fiona says. And he just kind of like looks at her.
Yes, we are all very proud to have the Tremere to be a larger presence in Albany.
I mean, whatever. Fiona's like,
Hopefully there'll be fewer fire demons.
Right.
who walks in next?
I'd be on time. Hi.
Mimi.
I'm gonna push open the revolving door and see that court's looking a little sparse on time.
Mm-hmm.
Stressful too.
And I see Riah and immediately over obsequiously bow. Welcome home.
Thank you.
You missed quite the party last week.
I heard.
It's been rough lately.
You held your own. You did good.
Yeah.
Sarge nods. I heard a bit about what happened. We encountered a few of the Sabbat as well at the derailed.
Yeah, were they after you? We assumed they were after Jaskins for his age. No. You look so good for your age.
New moisturizer.
Right.
Complimenting how old someone is always a good thing with our kind.
I know.
You look old.
Yeah, so old. You look so old for your...
I
Blood.
yes,
I don't
it
think
seemed
that's
clear,
what
and it's worrisome. There doesn't seem to be a lot of room for growth these nights. Not in Albany.
It is worrisome. It's worrisome that... This whole city's worrisome.
I've lived here for decades. Through this Sabbat, through the Camarilla takeover, thank goodness. But something in the last year or so, there's a change in the air.
got nothing to compare it to. But this is a wild frontier if I've ever been to one.
I've seen worse.
Okay. I think at this point, Donna's kind of like sidling up to the corner of the building and watching through glass and just like reading the body language. And seems like people are there's like an elephant in the room, as it were.
There's tension. You can see everyone's
no one
shoulders
seems
just a little
comfortable.
bit. Yeah, like up.
Mm-hmm.
Who's sitting next to you?
It's empty.
No one. On either side, left or right.
Next chair.
Prince.
Sarge will come and sit to your right.
And I'll come in at this point also. If we're going to be talking about the weird things that are going on in Albany these nights, this is not a conversation I want to miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's my bread and butter. My
So-
blood and blood.
The brassy doors revolve once more as Donna enters the room.
My prince, it's been a little while. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So I gotta tell you, it's been rough times around here in your absence. Thank goodness you're back to rule with an iron fist once again.
Yes.
Nice job with the airport, by the way.
Thanks.
Had you 90 million.
Yeah.
Quite a price tag.
That's what happens.
How much
when
of that is coming to us? I know. You know, it's gotta keep it hush hush. What I don't know, I can't print. But what I don't know, I can't make up lies about. So just let me know what you want me
We're
to put
planning
out
for
there.
expansion.
You think I don't know that? Don't prince-plain to me, Riah. I'm sorry, my prince.
Prince, that's an excellent question. Do you have anyone in mind to watch over the airport? I only say, as Harpy of the Derailed, we keep a firm eye on who comes and goes from the train station.
Yes, and I believe Nick will do a fairly suited job. It's very suited for him, actually.
The sheriff.
Yes.
Okay.
Shouldn't a harpy do that? It's not my place, I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
I said that.
So we got some
Yeah, there's some
got some smoldering fires here. You look very shiny today.
Thanks.
Oh, he is shiny.
Well, yeah.
Can we focus, please? No one has yet proved themselves to be worthy of sitting in the Harpy's seat next to Sarge.
I understand, but the
It's
Albany
big-
Symphony fulfilled a role that the Derailed can't. There are many Kindred who don't feel as comfortable checking in at the Derailed when they pass through town.
I have my people looking in New York for someone who can possibly transplant up into Albany. I do believe that the seat was very nicely fulfilled with the Toreador clan, of which the others are very young here and not suited to understand the nuances and subtleties of proper etiquette. Clearly,
That's not what they say. They say power abhors a vacuum, Riah. If you don't put someone in those spots, people are going to appoint themselves.
It's probably true. I'm not saying.
are you trying to appoint yourself?
Absolutely not.
Clearly.
I mean,
You're up days trying to scrounge together an article.
who told you that?
Your hair.
My hair looks fine. My hair always looks like this. What are you saying? God damn it, Riah. You don't have anything bad to say about Mimi. Look at her. She doesn't even have the right number of ears.
Shots fired!
Nosferatu. You can't expect a Nosferatu
Okay,
to hold her
yes. Nosferatu do not have a tendency of being the most together.
Though, Mimi,
Vampires.
if you do feel like you are going to lose a body part anytime soon, please let me know. I would love to study it.
That is creepy.
Okay.
That is creepy, actually.
It's not that creepy.
I'm not saying I want to take
also-
one, but if you happen to lose
She
one with
might-
your other ear,
I plan to keep them all for
Good.
now, but
Right.
I'll
keep them.
gladly keep you posted.
I don't want you to lose any more, but if you do, keep me in mind.
Fair.
Donna, are you sitting down at any point?
Was I invited?
Yeah.
Are the chairs comfortable?
Well, you might want to stay away from the one that looks like it was attacked.
That's the one that's completely opposite.
Oh.
So if they're on a row, like a boardroom scenario, the one that's on the opposite of you at the front
Right.
is...
No, I'll kind of lean. I'll go stand next to Fiona and kind of like...
I think she would like come around and like put her arms around
Oh,
you.
well in that case I'll definitely sit in the chair.
There's like a look from Sarge. Kind of like a possessive one. Because you were aware that him and Fiona are in a relationship.
Oh.
But also an exploratory gaze. Like,
I'll exploratory right back, you know?
Sorry,
We
I
all...
never knew.
Do you notice it? Maybe this is a personal look.
I would like to notice that.
roll.
Yes!
Hey!
It's going to be composure
Occult.
Yes.
and insight.
Insight.
Makes sense.
Composure and insight. So in Vampire, there are a list of abilities and skills and such. You pick two, one from attributes and one from skills. You add them together. You
Maybe
roll
I
a
roll
number
this
of
one
dots
because it was on the
and you
angle.
see what
Just
happens.
letting everybody know
That's
that.
fine.
We're looking for a certain number of successes.
You have
What?
that? Is that?
That's
No.
That's
That one doesn't
not-
have the start. It's 3 successes.
Wait, but no, that's you have those two.
These are.
That's
these
not-
are-
Oh, it has to be this. Okay.
Yep.
These are
Yeah, and then
confusing.
this guy is only a crit if it's
It's
on
like
the
the fancy.
Oh,
special-
the fans.
the
Okay,
special.
okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
love the numbers.
That's
So-
3 successes.
We're learning.
Yep.
We have the fancy new dice that are a little difficult to read sometimes, but they are nice. We love
They're
them.
the special
They're
V5
branded.
dice.
Branded.
Branded dice.
B5.
So
Get them, man.
yeah, totally. And like the look you see in Sarge's face is almost familiar. Not that you've received this gaze from Sarge, but
From
it's,
Luther!
it's like father like child, like sire like child. Now Luther is back at the apartment as he's been commanded.
He's not yet ready for court.
No, but you recognize that sense of lust.
I'm going to look directly at Donna and waggle my eyebrows. Just a hint.
Well, at least somebody likes my hair.
How loudly did Riah mention the chair?
Loud enough.
It also probably.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna be like,
Oh,
I'm like
noticing
sticking my
this? Yeah.
fingers
Visible.
inside.
Oh,
Like,
Herschel is totally just like checking out this chair and like trying to see what happened to this.
So how many people are around this chair
I'm
now?
investing. I'm literally investing.
Can everyone get away?
Are you?
I haven't seen her in like weeks.
Right.
Get out of here. Back
It's
off. You can look at it
fascinating.
later.
This is. I haven't seen.
It's
this
a
happen-
chair, Herschel. I'm sure you've seen one at some time in your life.
Well, not one like this. This is the damage is interesting.
Also, isn't Babette still there?
No.
No.
Oh, she left.
So this is interesting.
Yeah.
Clear bluff. I mean, you're using subterfuge.
Yes.
You're trying to manipulate and use subterfuge to get Herschel to let go
Alright,
of
do you
this.
want me to roll again?
The manipulating subterfuge. Herschel, I'd like you to roll a wits and insight, please.
Wits.
It's under the mental attributes.
Oh, so mental and a social.
Right, there aren't usually Smichi around.
Double crit, so that's 4 successes.
Okay.
Ah,
Neil
critical
Sprout
success.
does.
Critical success versus another critical success.
4 successes altogether.
Wait, are these
Yeah.
hunger dice though?
These are hunger,
But a one on the hunger
a one on the
die.
Doesn't
hunger,
matter.
which doesn't
Nope.
matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
So,
the hunger die.
2 critical successes.
Yeah.
That is the same. We also use the same color dice.
I think I think you instantly know.
Yeah.
She's hiding something. But you are instantly aware that he knows you're hiding something. But nobody else
Yeah.
picks up on this. You gotta put that kind of down a few times.
But everyone's around this chair besides
Yeah.
me at this point, I guess.
Probably.
and
Okay.
Sarge.
You know what? It's fine. It is not that interesting.
Good.
It's not
Can't
that
people hug? Sheesh.
Not. Oh, I'm talking about the chair.
Yeah.
Fiona, the pink-haired woman, nuzzles at your neck a little bit.
Hey, babe.
It's been so long.
I know.
You're always writing.
Listen, I'm like pursuing this
Writing,
thread.
not writing.
You're the only friend I've managed to make. You heard what happened to my other friend.
I know.
It's
It
just
was
awful.
so sad.
Like, I thought I couldn't feel things anymore.
But it's not like she's gone.
What do you mean? Do you hear from her?
She kind of like, you're sitting in the chair. She comes around and she like leans sideways, like butt in your lap. So she's draping you with her hand on your neck. Well, she's still in town and she's still here. And she like touches where your heart used to be.
Yeah.
Fiona, that's. I wish I knew what you knew and felt what you felt.
Yeah, but while her mind might be gone, her body isn't.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. That doesn't sound like your usual kind of mystical woo stuff, you know? You got some kind of lead on this? Because it's the funniest. We'll talk later.
At this point, Mimi's kind of interested in whatever's going
Are
on.
we all like talking amongst ourselves in this conversation?
Probably.
While me and Herschel are just like in an awkward stare down.
I'm going to talk about your shiny buttons some more.
So it's at this point.
Gavel, gavel, gavel.
I've got this one.
The brassy revolving doors spin again. And then again. And then again.
3. There's 3 of them.
As
Someone's just going around and around and around.
3 figures step into the hall. A young-looking man, and a young-looking woman tread in behind a middle-aged looking man. A beard and mustache, goatee, short, kind of messy hair, but wearing a red velvet blazer emblazoned with geometric squares and shapes and triangles. This man enters the room. A few of you, in fact, all 4 of you, honestly, should know who this man is. Eugenio Estevez, regent of the Maupassant Room in Manhattan.
I stand.
He steps in.
I bow my head.
Please, Prince Riah. And he gives a deep, deep bow. The 2 people behind him bowing even deeper than he is. You do not need to stand for me.
No, but from this height I can appreciate a deep bow.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings, all of you. The Prince, she knows me already.
Yes, we have met previously.
But for those of you who don't, I am Eugenio. Genie. Please. Please, all my friends call me Genie.
Is that true? Like, do I believe that he has friends and they call him Genie?
You definitely believe that he expects his friends to call him Genie.
Does he think that I am his friend? Like, does that come across as sincere to me?
Is that enough of an answer? Okay, great.
Can I?
So we are gonna roll insight then.
Okay.
Can I roll Sense the Beast?
Ooh, yes. Sense the
What
beast.
does that do?
She's trying to check his hunger levels.
I'm trying to check a lot of things. Oh, where's our fun other cheat sheet?
I've got it.
Oh, no, I don't. I've got it.
Sense the beast.
I only have the-
So go ahead, it's free.
Yeah, but I roll Resolve and Animalism.
I'm gonna roll with his composure and subterfuge.
Oh, I bet his subterfuge is kind of amazing.
Gonna win.
If I remember.
It reveals their hunger level.
Pre-B5
Yeah,
stats are
yeah.
very good.
Composure.
Yeah. Oh well, let's try it anyway. Let's see what happens.
Well, he's got hunger, so you're making him roll, which is a big deal.
This is also one of the most powerful career.
5 successes, 1 crit.
2 10s is a critical success.
Okay, so then just 5 successes.
Okay. 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know that he is currently sitting at 2 hunger, that he would have to kill to go below that.
Wow.
Tells you something. His blood is thicker, more potent than some of yours. I think most
But
of
I would
yours.
know that. I mean,
But that one's a little obvi.
I guess it's sort of his intent, right?
Determines whether they harbor a supernatural beast, marking them as a vampire or werewolf. On a win, a critical gives the user information on the exact type of creature, as well as their hunger or rage level. So you got the hunger level. I think that's it. How does this power manifest as you're sensing him? How do you feel these things, the beast inside him?
I mean, it is a sense feeling. It's almost, you'd feel cold or you'd feel warm. It's almost a sort of electric tingling that I can read off of him. But I do it almost as, it's as quick as a thought. So if it had failed, it would have just sort of bounced back. I'd have gotten nothing. But I seem to be able to get a read on him, and it sort of permeates through me.
Yeah. He's in control of his beast.
And for busting out our magical superpowers. And also, since Fiona's doing like a shush shush shush, I want to try to impress her a little bit, and I'd like to trigger a premonition. Who is this person who I've never met? What are his designs? What does this mean for all of us?
Interesting.
And I'm just going to whisper in her... Well, I'm not going to whisper anything in her ear yet. That could really backfire.
So roll, make a rouse check firstly.
Okay, so that's 2 dice.
2?
No, just 1.
Just
okay.
1. It's a level 2 ability, yes.
No, for my hunger. If I'm too hungry...
Oh no, rouse check, you roll 1 die.
Okay,
If you fail, you gain hunger.
I'm going to get this eventually.
You succeed.
I did!
So
Okay, great. Nothing happens.
So Donna is able to compel her blood to cause a premonition in her mind, and the beast is under her control for now. She does not gain any hunger. I need you to roll Resolve plus Auspex.
Yes, okay. Cool. And then that's going to be Resolve and Auspex, so that is 4 dices, 2 of which hunger. Oh, this is confusing. Okay. You're going to have to help me out with
I got
these.
you. I got you back.
God, I can't do it.
Velvet Blazers forever.
Don't forget, you can always expend a willpower to reroll up to 3 non-hunger dice.
That's 1 success. Do you want to spend a willpower?
Yeah.
You would
why
reroll
not?
the 1.
You would reroll. Oh, actually, you'd only be able to reroll 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's not worth it.
I don't think so. Well, hang on a second.
The clock ticks in the
Okay. All right, no, that's fine. 1 success.
You focus on Eugenio. Fiona's fingers caressing your head, trailing through your scalp, almost like a shallow tissue massage. And you close your eyes ever so momentarily, and you can see once more the bright lights of New York City. A singular building in downtown Manhattan in the financial district. Every single floor lit up except for one. Inside, a dark penthouse apartment covering almost the entire floor of a corporate building. Parts of this floor lounge-like, with a bar. Dark. That's it.
Okay, so I'm just going to whisper in Fiona's ear. Hey, I learned a new trick the other week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I get, visions. So, I think that this guy, I think he's like a Wall Street high roller. What do you think?
Maybe.
I think he's going to invite us back to his place for drinks.
You want to take a bet?
Not really.
So, here's the thing. If he invites us back to his place, then you can do whatever you want to me. But if he doesn't, I get to do whatever I want to you. In
my experience, this has not turned out to be a bad thing. I'll take that bet. You know what, Fiona? You're gonna make a betting woman out of me yet. I was raised that was sinful, but you know, my mommy believed in Jesus, and look where we are now.
So, Eugenio introduces himself, and he bows once more to you, Prince Riah. I know not if young Ursula has given you the news.
Oh, he has.
I'm sorry, sir. I did.
It was welcomed.
Or a little of it.
A lit.
I couldn't steal all of his thunder.
He's not known for his performative abilities, but he is known for his investigative ones.
Thank you, sir.
And due to his, and I think yours as well, your investigations.
Well, thank you. It's good to know that somebody's heard of me.
Donna Carmichael.
Indeed.
Yes, Herschel has mentioned you in his messages, his missives.
Oh, my biggest fan, are you?
I wouldn't say biggest fan.
It was.
I do.
But a light breeze.
He mentioned in his report, which was so clear and thorough, that you had a previous relationship with one of the infernalists shown in Albany a few weeks ago. You know about this, yes?
Yes.
Can you explain it?
No.
The tower as a whole, my prince, refuses to allow infernalists in our midst.
That's very nice for you. Herschel, we'll talk later.
Sure.
I don't know if I like the way you're talking about me behind my back, sir.
I'm just doing my job.
Well,
It's not just gossip, it's important. It's news. We are re-establishing the Albany Chantry, and I am to be regent of Albany, here to serve at your behest, Prince.
Well, that I can get behind.
Of course, I have many things to take care of, so serving in my stead will be my magister, Herschel. He is to be your consultant, your vizier.
this seems like an awful lot to swallow from somebody we've never heard of until this very moment. Well, excuse me, I haven't heard of.
I heard of him.
You've heard of him.
And if you haven't, you must not know very much.
Perhaps it's that, your name gets noised about, but not in all the circles you might expect. I tap into a different network.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Sir, she's an upstate Malkavian.
Politics? Can I politics?
Oh yes, please. If you have dots in politics, feel free to roll it now.
If I'm gonna badmouth this guy, I want
I do. Go for it.
Politics and intelligence?
I hate him. I don't even know who the fuck he is, but
Intelligence and
I
politics.
hate him a lot.
I have no.
I have dots in both, so.
No dots in politics?
No.
Mm-mm.
2, 5, so I need one more.
I've got some etiquette. One.
So politics and intelligence. Rolling 6 dice. Lost one.
2 blanks and a skull.
No. One success. One
Okay.
success.
Crit and a success. So that's
Skull is
5
scary. The
successes.
skull is
2 crits,
scary.
2 tens,
2 tens and a success.
5 successes.
So 5 successes.
Critical success for Herschel, of course.
Yep.
I mean,
Of course I would know.
Eugenio is the man who initially sent him here in the first place.
Of course you would know the most.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. That was intelligence and politics.
Yep.
So you got 2 successes?
Yeah, 2 successes.
2 successes for Donna, 5 for Herschel, and 1 for Riah.
So, have I heard of him, or am I just, BSing?
You've totally heard of
Okay.
him. I mean, you lived in New York City before the time. Eugenio Estevez. You can do a Google search, Eugenio Estevez, World of Darkness. He is an official World of Darkness character. He is the face of the Tremere clan in New York City. The Five Boroughs Chantry, multiple chantries that make up an organization for serving New York City. Their face is led by the Maupassant Room, a singular chantry with only one Tremere in it, Eugenio himself.
What do we... Okay.
That's what you know. You've met him. You've been to the Maupassant Room. It's a blast. You go, you rub elbows. Eugenio maybe graces your table, maybe casts a little spell for fun, for kicks, and you move on. Donna, you may have never met him, but you know for a fact Eugenio has all but left behind what his clan actually cares about. Defending blood magic, keeping its rights secret to the clan, protecting the tower from the magical interests of sects outside of it, and protecting the Kindred from the threats of demonologists and infernalists as a whole. Genie cares for none of that. He only cares at this point about the politics, and about the game, and the control, and the fight for power. Which, of course, you've seen right through from the start of this conversation. Same goes for you, but you kind of, well, you're working for him.
Yeah.
Mimi definitely knows who he is, even without a role in politics, though. She spent enough time in New York.
Definitely.
She doesn't really care about the politics of the situation, to be fair, but she knows he's important in as much as anyone is important in these things.
I mean, to come here to Albany to start a new chantry as regent and give up what he had in Manhattan,
It's a step down.
it could very well be considered a step down in many circles.
What's he playing at?
Unless he's trying to pursue some sort of new thing, like this would be a great playground for that. Like he doesn't have as many eyes on him up here.
Yep.
He has the space to do his little experiments, of which why I don't trust it.
With that role, would Herschel know what he's playing at a little more? Or would that be a different role? To kind of see that it's... Because like Herschel can see that there's a lot of good reasons for him to come down here.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't know which one that's motivating him.
I don't think so. I mean, I imagine that Eugenio is not being upfront with you about it. But over time, maybe he will. It's hard to know. You've been in Albany for several months. Who knows what the prince has said to you or gotten you to promise? You're not trusted quite yet by Albany's new regent. But he sits down to your left opposite Sarge. Sarge has been glaring at him this whole time. He's been ignoring Sarge. Who is that?
Against my better judgment, I will scoot closer in a flirtatious move.
Trust that you will have, and he kind of like motions to the other two Tremere in the room. Trust that you will have our clan's full support in maintaining the security of this region. Our Magister's reports have shown that things are quite volatile here in the Capital District. And you've taken on such a heavy burden. I'm sure we'd love to support you as best we can. No?
Appreciate whatever support you can provide, but do not discount the strength of my shoulders. I can bear more than you think.
I'm sure you can.
And you're right. Herschel has proved himself. Sometimes.
Quite cunning.
Thank you, sir. I wouldn't say I'm...
With the whole situation with Babette, he was fantastic.
Oh, thanks. I greatly appreciate that recommendation.
On that note, I'd like to know what you plan on doing about the technomancers.
What I plan on doing about the technomancers?
If you have any plans at all.
They don't seem to be a problem anymore.
For now.
Yes. I believe we have other issues that we need to worry about. The Sabbat and the lawless people who don't even deserve to be called Kindred. The anarchs keep causing issues in our town as well as our country, and we need to keep the line strong against them. They're the ones who keep coming up, and we can only fight one battle at a time, or else we'll thin our own people out.
And surely you must understand this. You, after all, left the metropolis to come to our second city, our, somewhat more out of the way. We are a local town with local concerns. If you want to take on the technomages, wouldn't you be better to do that from the seat of power? With the resources of all of New York and the boroughs backed behind you?
Can you roll persuasion with a little bit of manip, please?
I certainly can. 6
The
dice.
Manip.
Manip slip.
A nip and a nip.
Sorry.
Manip slip.
Can I have inspiration for that?
Add an extra die.
Yes.
Actually, make a rouse check for rousing my beast.
Success. Do I get to keep the extra die?
No, go for it.
Okay.
You can tell it's the finale. We're all full of giggles.
What is that garbage?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, 5.
Garbage?
I like that with these blank dice. You just say blankness.
hard.
It's confusing. Okay, anyway, 5 successes.
Her nips are strong.
We have no leads.
Get out of here.
We have no leads in the city. This is a find of the century. I mean, as the Tremere clan, we are aware that there are mortal magic users in this world. Our clan originated from mortal magic users.
And now you want them stamped out.
No, you want them under your control.
As good as stamped out as far as they're concerned, I'm sure.
It's one thing to have a errant witch or shaman under your control, ghouls. It's quite another to have those of the Technocratic Union. They actively seek us out to destroy us. From what this report showed us, they were at some point allied with the Second Inquisition to allow these people to stay here in Albany unwatched. Prince, I'm sorry, I just thought.
They do seem to be on our side. We're much more subtle than the Sabbat, and just in support of Prince Riah and keeping these technomages here, who may very well eventually be a problem, the Sabbat are messy, and they don't want messy vampires. The Camarilla, for all its flaws, is at least a little tidier, more organized, and easier for them to manage.
Mimi, I'm sorry, but well, I would say having actually encountered some of these technomages, they are more of a shoot first, ask questions how messy you are
They
later.
didn't shoot me, and they seem to appreciate that I recognized that it was messy.
So was Han Solo, and he took down the Empire.
Wait,
What?
What are you talking about? Empire.
But I
Take
would
a night off,
also,
y'all.
personally, I
X-card.
would like to, sir, with all due respect, I would like to say, as important as this lead is, there are more pressing problems currently for Albany. However, I don't see why we can't allocate a small amount of resources to begin tracking down this lead until...
They will be your resources. They will not be our
Agreed.
resources.
The Chantry will take this upon ourselves, as we do most things concerning magical security.
Any findings will be reported.
Naturally, I will have my Magister send them on.
Herschel, when Bossman here says this lead, I thought all the leads from the Palais Royal went dry, after the bar closed down, after we took down that demon. Was there something that...
We know where the Palais Royal is. Because they closed it down doesn't mean that there aren't energies left over. Heck, I could go there and probably start tracking them down right now, and I'm not even, I'm not even nearly as powerful as
The mages
Jeannie
were
here.
here last week. Here. Hi.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They're making themselves known even more. They've come to your court?
It wasn't in session.
It wasn't court. Someone took it.
They were very helpful. They killed at least 2 Sabbat. It was handy.
I don't think they care what sect each people
They
belong
didn't
to.
kill any Camarilla. There were 4 of us. And none of us were killed.
Did they work with you?
They showed up. They shot the Sabbat. They didn't shoot us because we like the sheriff. They like him.
We have worked together.
That is true.
It stinks to me, but this is not my city. I can only offer all of the magical resources that we have. Well, everything that Herschel has and is yours. Herschel,
Yes, sir?
everything you are belongs to Prince Riah.
Of course.
And everything you have.
Absolutely.
There.
You can have his buttons.
You can have his butt for all I care. Still, I would like my master in one piece by the end of the night.
I'll keep him that way, mostly.
You can return him into one piece at least.
Where will you be staying?
For now, we're some hotel, Holiday Inn.
Oh, the Holiday Inn.
But
Yes.
we're working on building a new chantry. Haven't decided, but we have some ghouls checking out real estate.
Alright. Well, I have some leads in the architecture world if you need any contacts.
We love that.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what's new? And with that, as the court kind of falls into idle chatter, let's go ahead and take a break. Dear viewers, we will be back in 10 to 15 minutes. Please stick around. We'll see you soon. And welcome back to Albany by Night. Our coterie is gathered in court in the marbled and gilded hall of the Bank of America on State Street in downtown Albany. As the gray waiting room furniture has been moved into the middle of the hall, creating a boardroom type of effect, we see several kindred seated here. At the front are Prince Riah. To her left and her right, the Harpy Sarge and the new regent of Albany, Eugenio Estevez. Around the chairs, we see Mimi. We see Donna and Fiona. And we see Herschel. When 2 more figures enter the hall. The click of heels as 2 very well-dressed folks wander in. You may recognize them from the Albany Symphony. A young-looking man in a black blazer with his black shirt open to the chest. Richard. And, of course, followed always by his partner in crime, a young, spunky, short, spunky Hispanic woman, Stefani, when they enter. Well, Stefani says, we're here! Oh, so is everyone else.
You're late.
They're almost late.
We're not late, Richard says.
You are late. We were just wrapping up.
Oh, I told you, Steph, we didn't need to come. It's maybe, well, actually, Prince Riah. She bows and she kind of elbows Richard and he bows as well. I know it has been some time, she says, since we last saw you.
Yeah.
Things happened. Christine lost it, you know.
Yes, and you guys were in support of her killing me.
And all of those people. It's a lot of people.
They both fall to their knees in front of you. Please, please, Prince. We didn't know what to do, and you've been so kind in not killing us in the last few weeks that we're here to pledge our loyalty.
They would have been late in more ways than one. It's a good thing you showed up.
I would like to daunt them.
Ooh, okay. Daunt is a level 1 presence ability.
Level 2.
Level 2.
Actually, level 3. No.
Ooh.
3.
Yeah, because it's Lingering Kiss, Red Gaze, and then Daunt is level 3.
Okay.
Don't remember what I rolled Gracias.
Daunt, level 1, presence ability.
Wait, no. Dread Gaze.
Dread Gaze,
there you go.
level 3, presence ability.
Whatever, level 3.
Please make a rouse check.
Yes.
As you instill your blood with the ability to give folks a dread gaze.
I'm not able to find where that is.
That's fine, I have it right here in the book.
Okay. Rouse check. Numero 1. I very much pass.
So, roll charisma and presence. I'm going to roll for both of them. Composure plus resolve.
To display your fangs and make a predatory grimace.
I'm considering this a social roll,
Sure.
so I'm adding 1 back.
They both have 3 successes.
I have
Several.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay. Did you crit?
I only got one.
That's fine. Then it's just a win. As they look up at you from their knees in fear, they seem stunned.
Their presence here has reminded me of the fear and just terror and confusion. Because I thought I loved Christine when I found out that she was trying to kill me, and this entire betrayal of that entire night just washes over me. And I lose control. Just for 1 minute, I become this intimidating figure. I'd like to think that I stand and I become much visibly a little bit taller and just a larger presence in the room.
The shadows darken behind you, in their minds at least.
And my voice becomes deeper, just dripping with disgust of the betrayal, of their betrayal and their support of Christine just comes through. If you ever back anyone and try to take me down, try to take down the Camarilla, try to take it over, I guarantee you will meet a worse fate than Christine.
We promise, Prince. We promise. No. We pledge our fealty to you alone.
You will tell me everything that you encounter, everyone that you encounter. You will keep nothing. Good. It's always great to have minions. Thank you for coming by.
My prince,
Phones, please.
may I do some? My prince.
Richard barely manages to get himself up off the ground, and he hands you, shakingly, him and Stefani's phones.
So Herschel reaches into his jacket and pulls out a flask and says, "My prince, may I act in my new role for you? I would like to, give some teeth to your threat."
Did you not think mine had enough? I'm not done with this one.
I understand. I'm, let's say, I can give them a more immediate, and he looks over at them, and he starts unscrewing the flask, more immediate danger.
Prince, please, we promise. Whatever you want, no, just don't.
This is also, I feel like this is a thing that some people might already know that he's threatening to do.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
He's going to put them under Daigon's call. He's going to feed them his blood and be able to do quite some damage to them every week as long as they feed on his blood. It lasts for a week, and if this continues and they betray you, he can basically start destroying their blood.
We'll keep that in our back pocket. I very much appreciate you coming and to offer that.
Of course.
To your left, the new regent of Albany.
And he screws it back and puts it away.
Janie nods. The Chantry can do this and all more for you, my prince.
My fangs are still out.
I would caution you, though, that right now is the perfect time.
Not in court.
Of course.
So gracious.
Apologies for my eagerness.
Oh, don't apologize. I do love an eager beaver.
Please, Stefani and Richard.
Okay.
On the ground.
I'm gonna go.
Just, can we, whatever you want.
Go back and keep the symphony going. We need the money.
Richard nods. Understood.
And remember that beautiful art is its own reward. It gives us purpose and meaning in these dark nights, and you want to have a purpose, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, Troy's been off on his own a lot lately, and, well, it's just, yes, thank you, ma'am.
Richard and Troy? Troy's been off on his own?
Well, yeah, we haven't seen him since Christine and all of that. So, yes.
It's,
Why don't you come back to my apartment at some point? We'll have drinks.
Just me? And Stefani's like,
I don't think you're her type.
Yes. Just you.
he looks down at Stefani.
I'll send you a text.
Okay. Give them back their phones.
I have your number. Both of your numbers.
Thank you, my prince. My service is yours. Richard, almost thrilled to be someone's minion once more.
It's like wipe off the grease. You're just collecting minions left and right today. Is it your birthday?
Death Day. Well, no. That's October.
A very merry birthday. Fiona starts singing like sultrily.
I thought that was Green Squiggly. It sounded more like him. That was Green
Green
Squiggly.
squiggly.
Oh, how is Green Squiggly?
So Fiona's like,
Still missing an R?
to you. A very merry birthday to you.
And on that note, I believe we can call court adjourned.
Of course.
I liked your song.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Marilyn. Why don't you come on back to Air Force One?
Ooh.
Air Force One is your place, though.
Well, we can go
It's closer.
flying high in the sky.
I'll take that trip anytime, as long as we don't need to bring this. We probably will need to bring this Secret Service.
Oh yes, and she grabs like Sarge's collar, and he's just like, "My prince, I'm sorry."
I've never seen Sarge like this. Sarge is always very composed, and I've always respected him for that.
You usually turn around by the time Fiona's just like, "Come on." She grabs his leash.
It's clever of you to put a leash around his neck like that.
But we should always keep out the Sabbat is out there. I would like to still instill some warnings. We are on the border, and they could come at any time. And we have the Second Inquisition, which luckily Mimi has defended us against for
Thanks, Mimi.
some time.
For now.
For now.
Still, it's best to stay off of technology as much as possible, Sarge says. Pulled by his collar.
Sorry.
Shall we all have a drink?
Yeah, I have... Yes. Yes. It's an idea that I just thought of.
Another one?
I have a lot. It's a temporary solution to a problem that we were talking about earlier. In the meantime, since I am taking up residence at the Holiday Inn, and as Sarge is still getting pulled out, has mentioned, not all who are coming into Albany are comfortable checking in at Derailed, and since I already have been appointed...
You're not becoming a harpy.
I am not asking to become a harpy. I am asking to temporarily allow people to check in at the Holiday Inn until a harpy has been chosen.
If...
With you and Mr. Mistopheles over here?
Genie, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, his name is
Even
Gene.
I, who am not the most discerning, understood that there was the Derailed and the concert hall because they attracted a very different
good
sort of
point.
clientele. And I've been to the Holiday Inn. It's no concert hall.
It is really not.
But I do like your idea.
It's a temporary
Not
solution.
at the Holiday Inn,
Okay?
but
We should buy a hotel off the interstate.
yeah. I'm sure we can find a much nicer hotel.
I would be happy to relocate wherever you would like me to relocate.
I'm sure you would.
There's a beautiful Beaux-Arts old building down. I think we could quickly renovate for our needs. We'll do that, and yes, you will be in charge of it.
Great. Great.
Elysium Keeper? Harpy?
I don't want the harpy position. I mean, I'm already a magister. That's plenty of honor for
I
me.
know.
Plenty of honor.
Elysium Keeper.
You'd
Some
be in charge
become
of-
great, and some have greatness pinned upon them like a shiny, shiny badge. Congratulations!
Here's another.
So
Enjoy.
many shinies.
Thanks. Thanks. This is great.
Well done, Herschel. Eugenio stands up.
Remember, everything is mine.
Yeah, I live to serve.
My prince. He bows and he offers a hand to like accept yours and kisses it.
I'll let it linger there.
I was just trying to solve the problem.
This is
and I
it
saw a
again.
solution, and
He folds his hand
Now you
down.
have to move.
Thank you.
I don't want to move.
You know where to find us.
Always. Thank you for making your presence known at court.
Of course. A regent.
I look forward to finding out more about your presence here and what you do with it.
I'm sure I have many magical wonders to show you. And with that, Genie, Eugenio Estevez, turns, swirls his black... No, he was wearing like a red velvet blazer.
Red velvet
An embroidered red
blazer!
velvet blazer.
So his blazer just kind of like sparkling under the bank
course it
lights
does.
as he turns and exits, followed by his two apprentices. Apprentices?
Apprentice.
Apprentices.
Apprentice.
I like the apprentices.
Apprentices.
Yeah, apprentices.
Yeah.
Apprentice.
Sergeant and Fiona have left. They've returned to the derailed. I think that leaves but our coterie inside. The four of you.
After this night, I don't know about the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
I could go for a beverage.
I could too.
Let my hair down, as it were.
I feel like it just gets piled on and piled on. When it rains, it pours.
We should celebrate our new regent.
Definitely
Oh.
does. And that sounds like a great idea.
That was my party streamer. Party horn.
Why don't we follow in the way of Fiona and Sarge?
Can we take your car? Great! Excellent.
I guess, as I pull out a bottle of perfume and start spraying maybe.
I can walk if you'd rather.
She's already sprayed you, Mimi. Just go with it.
Oh, Jesus.
It's very expensive. It's $100 an ounce.
Sometimes things that are expensive are worse.
Who said that? Chris. Christopher Bernal.
Oh my god, it's the cobweb! It works!
Someone inside the Malkavian Madness Network
Oh.
says that as this perfume sprays to the room.
I call Luther.
Hey.
Oh.
Like half a ring. He answers the phone.
Hey, do you want to meet me at the Derailed?
Hell yeah, I do.
Let's go. Hold on.
Doesn't he work there?
No, that's Sarge.
His sire owns it.
I
Yeah.
thought he was like a bar back or something.
He was.
He hasn't, since the events that occurred that put Riah into apprenticeship,
Yeah.
Luther has not
Been working.
lived at the Derailed
Okay.
Farm Ground.
Got
He's
it.
been under house arrest.
Essentially.
Ah, okay.
He's.
It's been 3 months.
Yeah.
4 months?
Are you still blood bonding him?
On the DL.
I recognize that, but
Yeah.
Luther's love for you, how much of it is true? How much of it is real?
So I have not done as much, just enough, to like for my to. I don't fully trust him yet, but I do feel that a lot of his love for me is real, because I have lessened the dose to the point where it's not always like he has his own capabilities.
There's 3 levels of blood binding. You had him at 3 several months ago. Without renewing every month, it would drop.
Yeah,
So maybe you've kept it at 1? Kept it
I would
at
say
2?
I've kept it at 1.
Okay. So he's still eager, an eager beaver, as you like.
I'm definitely not a beaver.
And he swiftly meets you downstairs. Well, he needs a ride.
Oh right. Swing by my
You could take the bus, you could walk.
No, we swing by my apartment.
So
I guess we're in the car now.
Luther jumps into the front
My
seat.
extended
It's a
town
little
car.
squishy, yeah.
There's a driver
Yes.
person.
I like to think of it as like one of those like 3-window town cars. So it's a little. There's some room.
Mhm.
I like to spread my legs, extend my legs.
Luther gets in. He is a young, dark-skinned man with like a shape, like a buzzed head, very low to his head. his skull. And he's dressed in business cash, as Riah likes him to be dressed in. But he seems happy enough to be going back to the Derailed, and also beginning to spend some time with his sire. So, how was court this evening?
We've got a new underboss in town.
Regent, more accurately.
Oh.
Yeah, don't you love it when people from New York come up and start calling the shots?
Well, that was how the old regent showed up.
Tell us more about the old regent.
Well, she kept to herself. Most of the Tremere did. But
This one doesn't seem to be keen on keeping to himself.
It's Genie.
He's
Yeah.
never been to New York.
Oh,
no,
You've never been to New York?
I haven't been down to the city.
that's fine. He's important in New York, but
I mean, I've been to Newark.
Not the same!
Oh.
Luther, we've talked about this.
Sorry.
Newark is a place you fly into. At least that's what I'm told.
And- We flew out of it.
You fly out of.
That was why we went.
Yeah.
Oh. Court was good.
Okay.
No one died this time.
It was much calmer than the last few weeks.
That doesn't bode well. It's worse when you can't see the cockroaches.
The night is young.
Well, you just gotta turn on the light.
Not as young as it used to be. The sun's going down later. It's coming up earlier. Summer's on its way.
Is this vampire's version of small talk?
Yeah.
It is a bit. We cross over the bridge that leads east across to the other side of the Hudson River. Renslayer is small, dark, dirty. The people there live to serve the people in Albany, and the socioeconomic divide across the river is never more obvious than when you're coming from downtown itself. This black town car, pulls up in front of the Derailed Bar and Grill down the street from the Renslayer Albany train station. A series of row houses, maybe 2 stories tall, dark and dim for the most part, line this street on the eastern side of the Hudson River. And the car stops, and Luther steps out and opens the door for you, Riah.
Thank you, Luther. What was that?
What do you do?
Were you stroking
I
it?
was stroking his face.
So as you step out, he kicks your hand and just turns and walks with you.
Yeah. Halfway, I accidentally closed the door a little bit. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. I'm used to that.
Head in and
It's your face.
yeah.
Right behind the door, as soon as you enter, the Derailed is not very crowded. The light snow was forecasted earlier today as a snow warning, a heavy precipitation forecast, but it seems to have been a fluke. So most people are keeping inside, but maybe they don't need to be. It's quiet. The Derailed is mostly empty, and as you all start strolling in, Fiona literally jumps out from behind the door on your back. Donna. Guess who?
I have no idea.
It's Fiona.
Oh, it's Fiona. Is it Fiona?
Spoil sport?
Sorry.
I would have gotten it eventually, don't worry.
Yeah, but I would have gouged your eyes out before then.
You wouldn't dare.
Well, maybe not.
Remember what happened the last time?
It was just a little scratch,
Yeah, but
and then I had to lick it all up.
so messy.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this. Only in private, Fiona. Anyway, do you have any snacks?
Yes, come on. So the two of them go straight to the back of the bar. It's a, like I said, it's a series of row houses, and the Derailed is the last one. It's a 2-story building. The bar itself being the the ground floor version. Railroad style through the bar and lounge area into the back where the offices and private bathrooms are. You all know that there are a set of steps that go up to the living space above. And that is where Fiona takes you. Up into the living room of her apartment. The door slams open, and you can see 3 people doing yoga in her living room.
Look how healthful.
Jeffrey, stand please. And Jeffrey comes up into a sun salutation, and he's well fit, curly dark hair, a very well trimmed goatee. Yes, Fiona, and you can see
Fiona, you didn't.
You can see his vein just
Oh, what a nice treat.
right this way, and the 2 of you head back into the boudoir.
Room service.
And the 3 of you lay down on the bed, and Jeffrey's just
So, Jeffrey, today I'm JFK and she's Marilyn Monroe.
So I'll be one of the gray men from space.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hold on. So he gets completely naked. And he goes into the closet. And he closes it, and it's mirrored, these closet sliding doors. So the 2 of you are just sitting on the bed, and Fiona starts singing, "A very merry birthday to you."
My dear, I'm thinking of waging a war upon poverty.
She's trying not to laugh.
And after that, maybe we'll tackle civil rights.
Ooh, and the door slides open.
But we must never tell the American people about the gray men from space.
And the door slides open, and Jeffrey's holding a vibrator with lots of bright lights, and it makes a noise as the attachment spins. I'm so sorry. This is probably not what you expected from a Vampire the Masquerade series. But when Malkavians are having a threesome, anything can happen. So there's a and he jumps onto the bed, and the camera fades to black.
Bringing a new meaning to the third man theory. Oh my god.
He was from space.
He was from space, that's why they never caught him.
Downstairs. Maybe one of you hears a
and raucous laughter and squeaking.
Just at this point, since we have our drinks, I feel the shot is, because it's just more music to me, Herschel with a tumbler of blood, and he just looks up, and then looks down to his drink, and starts drinking.
I'm gonna erase my hunger now, if that's alright with you.
Go for it. Sarge just mixed a little scotch, whiskey, whatever you like.
I prefer it straight.
Oh, okay.
So it's just blood.
By all means.
I don't really drink.
But for the prince, of course, he has his standard fare.
Mixed with Jameson.
Him and Luther are making small talk. Happy to see each other, although things aren't quite the same since, all those nights ago.
I do hope that things become less stilted between you 2.
I'm sure that time... Yeah. They both kind of just look off.
Oh, did I make it awkward? I'm sorry.
What are you 2 doing?
I assume that I have a drink. I asked to have it mixed with the cheapest smelling whiskey. I'm trying to do anything to regain my previous level of
Grape scotch.
perfume.
Are you... The few mortals that were in here when you arrived may not have instantly noticed your presence, but after a few minutes, most of them are going to be aware. They look up and they sense this.
I have my hood on and I'm facing the bar, so I might look slightly deformed, but they can't see my face.
True.
Just unwell.
Yeah.
It's just there's something, and maybe after 15 minutes, all mortals have left the bar.
Just they don't want to be around anymore.
Time
to go.
I mean, when 4 hunters of the night, step in, even if they don't know what's happening, there's still that sense of being prey, and predators have entered into your midst. Like stepping onto a subway car and just something's off. Everyone's tense.
I would say I hardly even notice that mortals react this way. As far as I'm aware of it as much as I'm aware of not breaking the masquerade. But as I say, my hood's up, I'm not facing the crowd. And I figure I'm good in that regard.
You've talked to mortals before without breaking the masquerade. It's not easy. You definitely have to lie to them, but it's doable. Sarge wipes the counter. I feel like things are going to be quiet for a while.
Any of the other Malkavians come through?
Fiona's had some followers. Don't lie. You know this.
Out of the ordinary?
We've reported her
Yes.
followers that have come through. You're gracious to allow her existence here. I know that the tower has a strong stance against anarchs these nights.
They have put a lot of pressure on me to not, but I've expressed to them that removing her would cause more trouble than it's worth.
Yes. I've had enough stress from my own clan about staying with the tower. You know that most of us are anarchs at this point, most Bruja.
Yes, I know that. And I appreciate your loyalty.
You're one of the few high clans that do. It's just, I want to believe that you will reward loyalty. And I don't have any reason not to, but I don't have any reason to believe it.
I don't feel like I should prove myself to you, Sarge, but I feel like I have. I've given you reason to trust me. I have kept your child alive and well, which other people who've come through would have sent to a far worse fate.
I know. And I've thanked you for that.
Granted, now my perception is a little bit skewed. Bias.
It's just we've lost so many people over the last few months. I'm afraid that it's only a matter of time before Albany falls. And well, I just hope that we can stand against it. That's it.
It's not on you to make have those worries. It's on me. Albany won't fall. Believe me.
You're a stronger kindred than I. I'll try.
We have others working for us that you may not know.
I think that's what worries me.
Do we still hear the squeakies?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like 3 minutes.
We're winding down for the evening. Is there any real business left before we head into final moments?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. I want to do Donna's final moment last. So, whatever order, it's up to you. But Donna last.
I was like,
I think what? So I feel like mine would be a time jump a little bit, so I don't want to go first.
So we'll start with one of you two.
I can start. I don't have a master plan for my final moment of the finale. Mimi finishes up her drink. I think at some point throughout the evening has inspected every one of Herschela's pins and buttons. They're all shiny.
Very shiny.
All interesting, and none of them seem to be electronic, at least not obviously, which she was also checking for. And I think as Riah and Sarge continue to mumble on, Mimi, if anything, starts to feel tired. Sort of, she feels herself nodding off at the bar. Sarge's words about being afraid that Albany will fall sort of struck a chord. There's something wrong here, but she's not sure what. And so she just sort of sneaks out, doesn't say goodbye to anyone, and heads across walks back home. So it's a bit of a hike. It's across the bridge, sort of along some major roads, but she's dark. She obfuscates, I suppose, just to protect herself, but wanders back to her one-room apartment. Rats occasionally popping up, which she rolls her eyes at.
Can you roll resolve plus animalism?
Yes.
Something has the hackles up on your beast.
Well, that's 2 successes.
Reroll two of them.
Yeah, I will.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Final scene.
Yeah.
I can reroll them again. No, I can I?
No.
No, okay, so it's 2 successes.
2 successes. The rats, the ones that you feel are coming to you for comfort, there is a swarm of them waiting for you when you get back to your apartment. Without activating Feral Whispers, which is a rouse check normally, you can still hear their squeaks. There is fear. A predator is awake. Something just hasn't... They're acting in a manner that isn't normal to you. You've seen them scatter, at cats.
Right.
Even when you grab one of them to suck on, they run away. They know when they're outmatched. But this is different. They're afraid. It's not just instinctual. It's cognizant of a greater threat. It's something that looms outside of their own even understanding.
What time is it?
It's probably late in the evening. The night, rather. After midnight, I would
After
assume.
midnight.
Sun's probably rising around 6 these nights. So you've got several hours.
So, I think I, at that point, do want to try and activate Feral Whispers if I can.
Make a rouse check.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. It's a 10.
This is going to be...
It's manipulation. Oh no, I think it's charisma and is how I... No? Manipulation.
That's mostly for summoning and persuading. So, yes, manipulation in animalism, yes.
Cool.
So you're trying to talk to the rats.
Yes. So that is 4 successes.
No. It's not safe underground anymore.
What's underground?
It's the beast. The beast. The wolf.
Wolf?
The wolf.
Now, I'd heard months ago at one of Fiona's cult gatherings some talk of a wolf.
Atop the Empire State Plaza.
A wolf now?
And through the sense of their squeakings, you know it's the plaza.
I text Riah that I'm going to the plaza.
Okay. Riah, where are you when you get this text message?
I'm still at the bar.
A little drunky.
Yeah.
Serge and Luther. Serge is not here. Sarge and Luther and Riah are having a grand old time talking about the good old days, the early aughts when Albany had just fallen under Camarilla control.
With the Herschel there, just
Yep. Just awkwardly drinking.
yeah, and starting to get ready to go. Well, actually, it's still early. There's no reason, but I guess I feel my phone go off.
Yep.
And it just says, it's from Mimi, saying, going to the Empire Plaza. And that's all.
And then one that's just an exclamation point and danger.
I look at my phone. I just look at Sarge and I'm just like, well, we thought it was a calm night. Mimi says there's some danger in the Empire Plaza.
Your call?
Take my, I have a glass. Take my glass and I just, I'm gonna go.
Luther stands with you.
Do you want any more backup?
If you would like.
Well, since all I am is yours.
Yeah.
Great. Herschel.
So that's going to eat up your final moment, Herschel.
Oh no.
It's okay.
The three of you head off to the Empire State Plaza. Donna. Jeffrey is passed out on the bed. Fiona licking up his puncture wounds, sealing them with a kiss. He's drained. Not entirely,
But
In
nothing.
more ways than one.
somewhat.
Not a lot left.
Nothing that
Let him
time
rest.
won't heal.
That's right.
And some food, maybe. Fiona is entwined in your arms, her pink hair. No mess splayed over your chest. Let's go away.
Where do you want to go?
Let's go on a trip.
Sounds nice. I've got the cash.
You want to do like a road trip?
Drive by night, sleep by day, black out the windows of an RV.
Like the old days. Like the 80s.
Yeah. So, dark times.
Yeah, I loved it. Let's go to Niagara.
It's so cheesy.
I know.
I expect better of you.
I've never been.
Really? You've never been to Niagara Falls. You practically live in its backyard.
I know, it's crazy. But I think... I don't know, I just hear the falls calling my name.
Fiona! Fiona! Is that what they sound like?
That's what they sound like.
Well, what about Sarge and Green Squiggly and all your followers? We're gonna
Green
miss you.
Squiggly's such a drag since he lost his arm. So over it.
I mean, at least he can have some covering the fact that the guy who did it's out of the picture.
Well, yeah, that's true. And
Why now, though? Why not yesterday or tomorrow?
yesterday I didn't know, but today I do.
Didn't know that you wanted to go to Niagara Falls?
Mm-hmm.
You're shitting me.
Maybe, but it'd just be fair for a very short time, a weekend.
Alright. Let's leave right now.
Okay. Great. We can make it to Buffalo by dawn.
We'll take my car. We won't. I don't have an RV though.
Great.
It's just we'll just leave a note.
As she grabs a tote bag and just stuffs some things in there, she throws it over her arm and she kind of grabs you and pulls you in and gives you a strong kiss. The two of you kind of tumble into the stairwell as the door of the apartment shuts behind. The passion catching on, and you feel that similar sensation of being thrust into her mind space.
Oh boy.
And you can see your reflection through shattered glass. And you look at yourself, and half of the refractions, you can almost see Fiona's face instead of yours, like she's taking over your psyche and your soul.
That seems weird.
But you come back, and you're in the car. She's driving. And you're out of town.
I don't remember getting in the car.
You don't. The camera cuts once more. Riah, Herschel, and Luther are wandering through the Capitol Mall, the tiled and sanitary space under the Empire State Plaza. Coffee shops, restaurants, an optometrist's office, a hair salon. This is where the civil servants who manage the state of New York do their errands. You've been here before. This is where the old prince kept their abode.
I text Mimi.
And you follow her directions to a unused portion of the mall, a small hallway leading off towards one of the parking garages. The beast, you can sense it, and the rats are leading the way into a men's bathroom. It's empty.
Use awareness. And wits?
Yes.
I guess I'll join in on that roll. So why not?
That's. Fuck. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Is it 6 or higher?
Yes.
Okay, 3 successes.
3 successes.
Who's gonna get it?
Every time?
Okay, I might as well be part of this awareness and wits game too if we're playing it.
Yeah, join.
1, 2, 3 successes. Hey guys!
So,
We all know at the same time.
3 of you,
We
with
know the same thing!
3 equal successes, all approach the handicap stall at the end of this room, which the rats are moving towards. You can see one of the rats scrabbles up against the brick wall to the left of the toilet, looks up at you. Here.
The rat says here.
You see a brick in the wall, each of you at the exact same time. Just another brick in the wall that looks different. And as you touch the brick, Prince Riah, a portion of the wall slides open. Dust. As you see before you steps that go down into darkness. Stone steps. Old. And from deep below the earth, an unnatural sounding growl that you only seem to hear within your own veins. And that is where we're going to end Season 1 of Albany by Night.
That man's handicap stall. At least it's spacious. Has that 5-foot turnaround.
I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in tonight, especially for those of you who have tuned in every night.
Yeah.
I know our schedule has not been the most regular. We've done fine.
Wait until season 2.
Please follow Manapot Studios if you haven't already. We have many other.
Like and subscribe.
Yep, we have many other games going on as well. Season 2 of our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle may not happen until late this summer, but if you stay in touch, you may see a few one-shots as our characters resurface. And we check in to see exactly what's going on in
How
upstate
bad a
New York.
decision did I make? Nobody
Exactly.
knows. We'll find out.
With that, I will bid you all adieu and good evening.
Bye.
Good night.